Hey guys, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Um, I've got nothing to do. It's quarantine. Pretty bored, so I figured I would review the new Ezra Glenn album that just recently came out. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at it. Hop into Spotify here. I was really excited for this to come out. Um, I really love the music that he does. I think it's gonna be great. So we'll start with the first song, "Love in 3D." I'm really liking the instrumental. I like those like chords. I can't remember if he plays the stuff himself or if he just does it synthetically. But I really like the chord choice. I think it's really cool. It's really light and it's a little bit different than a lot of the stuff that I like to listen to, which is a little bit darker chords. They're in like the minor keys, and so I really like the sound so far of it. Oh, that vocal's nice. I like that. I like that. That works really, really well. I like that a lot. I like that.
Colors wrapped around your head, an anesthetic that I'm a fan of. I've seen myself in the mirror for far too long. I want to see you more often.
They're like the same vocals as when he came in, but I really like those background vocals. They fit so well with like the style that he's presenting in this song, and they fit really, really well with his like the rest of his like main vocals. They mesh really well right here. I like that a lot.
So tell me, am I in my head, or do we have something here worth chasing? Sometimes in the night, caught by the neon lights, there's a big old world in your eyes. Baby, we could go anywhere. Let's go.
The vocals sound really, really crisp. Like there's no background noise on them. That's really good. I like that. I don't know what equalizer you're using, but that's really, really nice. I like that.
I wanna love you in 3D. Oh, I wanna fall in love with you in 3D. 3D, baby, come on.
I like that simple little like chorus type bridge. That's something that's like I feel like is underrated. Is not doing something that's too complex in your chorus. So I really like that just simplistic kind of style because it really flows with this because this song, this style of music isn't overly complex. And so if you're going to do something overtly complex with your chorus or with your verse, you're going to lose the effect of the song. And so while you can have a deep meaning to your song, you don't want to make the structure of it too complex that you're taking away from the meaning. And so I think he really achieves that, and I like that a lot.
Tell me what's going on, 'cause I don't know what's in your head.
I like that doubling effect. I really like that a lot. That's really cool. I like that.
'Cause you have wants and you have needs, and I have thought reality.
I know I'm stopping again pretty soon. But it feels like Mumford and Sons to me, and I love Mumford and Sons. So this is a fantastic vibe. Just the layering that he did on those vocals, it just sounds really crisp. It sounds really clean. I enjoy that a lot. I do more of that. I like that.
Quality would be better. We're a team. 'Cause I have wants and I have needs, and you're so real, so baby, love me in 3D.
Fantastic start. I liked that a lot. That was a really good song. It wasn't, like I was saying, it wasn't overtly complex on the structure. It wasn't overtly complex on the instrumental. I think that was fantastic. I loved the layering of the vocals. The vocals were really crisp, really nice. It was just very aesthetically pleasing. I liked it a lot. I thought that was really good. Let's go on to the next one. Tell Me. Immediately, I love the drums. Different than the guitar dominant song on Love in 3D. So I love these drums already, and the piano sounds great too so far.
Tell me what you're dreaming, tell me your plans, tell me what you want.
I love that. Was great. That opening, just that. That sounds great. I love it when that happens. That just it's almost like a staple, I guess, of indie that you have those vocals like that, and I think that sounds fantastic. I really do. And again, the mixing on the vocals just really crisp, really clear. And that's hard to do, to mix vocals to where you don't have any background noise. And so it's honestly one of my weak points when I make my music. So I think he does a fantastic job of it. He's got a great ear for it.
Make of yourself, you can do big things. Maybe you will. I have no idea.
I don't know, that piano just going in the back, that's a little quiet. The drums are like the predominant part of the song, but that piano that's going in the back, it balances it out, because the piano is all upbeat and it's happy, and then the piano is just, the drums are all upbeat and happy, and the piano is just a little bit melancholy and more dreary. So that really balances it out. I like that a lot. That's really cool.
What the future holds, or what it holds back. Trouble is there at every turn. Maybe I won't get what I deserve. I don't know what waits ahead for us. I have no idea. But you can be sure I'll be beside you. I will go with you, my friend.
I love that. That was great. It came in and it was a surprise, but it wasn't like, oh, blow your ears out, like kind of surprise. I enjoyed that a lot. And it wasn't super loud, Again, mixing, fantastic. The volume was perfect on that. I think that was mucho bellissimo. Very good, very good.
You
that synth. It's going do 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 do. That if you can kind of hear that in the background, I like that a lot. It's like a minor thing, but I like it. Okay, so that was the second track, Tell Me. I thought the drums were great. Vocal mixing, fantastic. I really thought that was great. I thought the lyrics were pretty creative, pretty fun. And I thought the contrast between the piano and the drums was awesome. And then that part in the middle, that got me. I loved that. I thought that was great. And especially just the talent you have, the talent in the ear you have to be able to do something like that is really great. So I props to him for that. That was really, really amazing. So we're going to move on, and we're going to do Lost One, the third track. All right, Lost One. Okay. That's a little different with the synths. That's unexpected.
Scattered to the wind.
I loved that opening. That was a great melody. I liked that a lot. I gotta listen to that again.
Scattered to the wind. Compass broke, I choke on smoke from the burning ruins left. I don't know where I should go, with an ocean in my head and seas
Those hi-hats are nice. I like those hi-hats.
raging in my chest. I need a quick way out of this. Just another lost one, hiding out under the sun, calling out and on the run. Will I find my way, counting breaths and fit?
I like that a lot. I love that. That was like a sweeping, like orchestra kind of feel. I felt like I was flying. That was great.
Habits stained upon my skin. I haven't escaped yet. Perhaps you can forget, with an ocean in my head and seas raging in my chest. I need a quick way out of this.
I'm a sucker for those vocals, man. That was.
Maybe I'm not alone in this.
So you hear that in the background, that nice, like soulful kind of like just little hum going. That's chills.
Maybe I'm not alone in this.
That gave me like a Childish Gambino kind of feel, that echo. I think that's really impressive. I liked that echo. I kind of felt it, you know. Felt it.
just another lost one, hiding out under the sun, calling out and on the run. Will I find my way? And even if we look rough, I have found my people here, and oh, you best believe we're tough. Will we find our way?
All right, that was Lost One. I like that. That was honestly probably, I don't know. I like all of them so far. I haven't heard a bad one yet. That was probably my favorite melody, I would say. I thought it was a really clean melody, really creative. And again, just like his other tracks, really clean vocals. Just really, really clean. The mixing has been fantastic so far. The volume on everything. Just all the instrumentals meshed together. I thought that was a great track. Probably one of my favorites so far. So the next one we're going to hop into is track number 4, Different Eyes. Alright, Different Eyes. Here we go, a longer one. It's a little slower, a little more melancholy. I like that. It's a little bit different than the rest of the stuff.
Came here with a backpack. There's no blame here for the unhid fact that the smile on your face is tinted by the hinted sadness behind your eyes.
I don't know if y'all can hear that. There's like a low register like hum going through it, through the instrumental. I think that hits really different. I know it's kind of cliche, but that really puts you in your feels hearing that, because that minor frequency just kind of brings you down. It mellows you out almost. This is really good so far. This is probably one of my favorites. I like this a lot so far.
You can crash on my couch, and there's food above the stove. You didn't ask for this, or no. You didn't ask for this, or no.
I love that crooning. That's great. That's another thing I'm a huge sucker for, is that crooning. I think that works really well with this instrumental. I think it works really well with the vocals too. Just especially with the lyrics, that he has going. I think that crooning just kind of fits. It's like a wailing. Feels almost like feels like a ghost, you know. I think that's really nice touch.
I'll bail you out of this one, just like I've always done. I've got your back and you've got mine. We have the same heart with different eyes. We have the same heart with different eyes.
Again, I think that's the end of the little bridge or chorus there. Like I said, with Love in 3D, you know, a really simple chorus can achieve a lot. And so I think that's what he kind of did with this one, is he went with that simple bridge, simple chorus, and I think that works great because this is more of a complex and tiered song lyrically. It's, to me, what I'm getting from it is he's talking about, you know, somebody that sees things differently than him, but they still have that same empathy and that same heart for each other, that same love for each other. So that's the kind of thing that I'm getting from it. And so I think that's really cool that he's got this simplistic melody and this simplistic chorus so as not to distract from the complex and more mature subject matter of the lyrics. So I think it's really, really cool.
You can crash on my couch, and there's food above the stove. You didn't ask for this, I know. Bail you out of this one, just like I've always done. I've got your back and you've got mine. We share the same heart but different eyes. We share the same heart but different eyes.
Alright, so that was Different Eyes. I liked that one. I think it was a little bit simpler on the instrumental side, but lyrically it was a little deeper, at least than a couple of the other ones. So I thought it was really cool, because you have that stark contrast kind of between the instrumental and between the lyrics. And I think he did, again, great job on the mixing. You know, he added some of those minor touches like the crooning, the humming, those frequencies that he uses, and the notes that he uses are just phenomenal. I think they really work well with the song, and so I think that was a great song. Moving on to the next one, Captain Harper.
Captain Harper works for the lighthouse, and he doesn't know when to quit. He stays at his post at the top. Oh, he sits and keeps his eyes open for ships. Those eyes have turned as gray as the waves he watches all day. He's feeling real tired. The captain's hands have been shakier lately.
So I really like the lo-fi vocals. That's the effect that he's got going on, is a lo-fi effect. Similar to the lo-fi beats to study to. That's what he's doing with his vocals, is putting them on that lo-fi frequency. I like that. It's an especially interesting choice given what seems to be the subject matter. This song kind of reminds me of like storytelling hip-hop, storytelling rap. It seems like what he's doing so far is he's using the story of this Captain Harper to tell the story of, I don't know how the story's going to end, but it seems like he's using that to talk about something a little deeper, which I really like the lo-fi vocals for, because it makes you focus more on what you're hearing as opposed to just kind of like tuning it out. So he's using the more interesting vocals in order to make you really listen and pay attention. So I like that.
Twitching around for a week. He hasn't shaved in something like 3 months. His gruffness has only increased. The feeling that he won't be there to help when someone's in need, it's eating him up.
Okay, so that's interesting. So the story is this guy that's like let himself go because he's completely pouring himself into this lighthouse because he doesn't want to have to deal with the guilt of not being there when somebody needs him. So that's interesting. That's interesting so far. I think that's something that a lot of people can relate to. Pouring themselves into their work or their family or something because they're terrified of not being there when somebody needs them. So I think that's a really relatable topic. I think that's a pretty interesting way to tell a story through this lens, especially.
One day the captain decides to go down to the town a few miles from here. There wasn't a voice or a reason to go, sorta just happened that day.
It's interesting what he's doing with the instrumental here, because he's putting it into a more like upbeat, just a more like upbeat sounding kind of tune. That's interesting. I like the switch.
Captain Harper orders a coffee and sits in an old wooden chair. He finds a book at a yard sale on Ash Street and happily pays for the fare. The feeling that rolls like the tide, like everyone that you pass by could be your friend. Eating him up. The local.
Okay, so I guess what I got from that is that it's kind of eating him up that he's not able to like be friends with these people that he's passing by because of his work. I think is what I'm taking from that. We'll see.
Barber fixes our captain up with a clean-shaven face. The lady waiting winks as he's leaving, and he is left frozen in place. It's been a good day. It's been a good day. It's been a good day.
far in this whole album that I haven't like been too like keen on, that I haven't been like a super huge fan of. I feel like there was just a little more than there needed to be. I'm a big fan of more is less, or less is more. So, you know, somebody else might like it, and it's just my personal preference. But I mean, I do like the song as a whole. I think it's a really cool story, and the instrumental's great. I just wasn't a huge fan of those vocals in that particular instance, but I think, I don't think they're bad. I think it's just personal preference to me.
Harper returns to the lighthouse. It's getting dark, 10 o'clock. He finds no shipwrecks left from his absence. The ocean was kind while he was gone. Sometimes all he needs is a little rest from the sea. The smell of peace on the breeze. Captain Harper's a good man indeed.
All right, so I really like that song overall. There's just that one tiny little section I personally wasn't a fan of. You might like it, and that's fine. But I think it was a great story. I really liked the ending. You know, he wasn't trying to take on more than he could handle with telling that story. He was just saying sometimes you need a break. You know, he didn't try to go in and tell you how to fix it. He didn't try to tell you not to feel like that. He just said, take a break. And that was the purpose of that song. I think that's a really cool sentiment. And I think it was achieved and done very well. So I enjoyed that song a lot. Moving on to the next one, Best Man. It's another long one.
Remember when all of us three used to share the same buzz cut? We'd go camping down by the creek and come back covered in mud. Kraft macaroni and cheese, playing Legos in Miss Kim's house, losing lawnmower keys.
So it sounds so far like he's talking about his childhood. I'm not sure if it's his siblings or like his brothers or his friends that he's talking about, but he hit in the fields when he started talking about Kraft macaroni, camping out in the woods. That's a pretty typical childhood, especially if you live down south. So that's tugging at the heartstrings right there.
Tug of War with.
I do like this guitar too. I think it's really cool. It's really simple, but it's very just pleasing to listen to. Like you can just kick back and focus on the lyrics.
The cow. Half as many of us then.
Okay, so I do think this is talking about his siblings, because I know he has a lot of siblings now. Half as many as there was then. Half as many as there is now. Whatever. So yeah, I think that is talking about his siblings.
Happiest we'd ever been. Then came little sis, and then came little sis, and then came little Ben. Mom just kept having kids.
Yeah.
riding together to school. Mario Kart in the evening. Together was always the rule. Before we'd gone leaving. Remember when we used to fight? And I didn't treat you so well. Kept me up at night. I'm sorry if you couldn't tell. I wanted to be like you. And I still do.
I'm really liking this so far. Not only is it like bringing me back to some aspects of my childhood. I might not necessarily have a big family, but I can definitely understand some of the sentiments that he's talking about. It's a really mature, and self-introspective song, and it takes a deeper look into himself. So I think that that's something really awesome that he's tackling with this music. He's tackling a deeper issue, and so I think that's really, really cool.
We're the oldest friends. We're the oldest friends. We're the oldest friends. We're the oldest friends. Now all of us three don't share the same address. State lines in between. That's how it goes, I guess. Now you've gotta go, get out of here. You've got a family to find. You've gotta go, get out of here. You've gotta leave us behind. You've gotta go, get out of here. You've gotta leave us behind. You've gotta go, get out of here. You've got a family to find.
That may be sad. That's, like I said, really, really introspective. I think it's really, really relatable what he's talking about. A lot of people have had siblings leave the house before us, and I think it's a different look. I mean, he says something. You've got a family to find. That's the way families work. You have to, in order for families to exist, you have to leave your first family to go find your next one, to go find your new one, to keep it going, to have a family for that little kid, so that little kid can have their own Kraft macaroni, camping in the woods experiences. You have to leave the comfort of your family to create that for the next generation. That's great, man. That's a really tough topic to challenge, and I think he did it really well.
We're the oldest friends. We're the oldest friends.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much else to say about that than what I already said a second ago. Great take on a really cool topic. One that's not talked about a lot because, a lot of people think it's something, oh, well, everybody goes through that, so I shouldn't worry about it. Or, it's just kind of, you have to get over it. So I think that's really nice. A really cool sentiment to be able to hear that in words, because I never heard that in words. So I think that was a really challenging thought process to create that song, and it has a huge payoff because I think that was one of the best ones lyrically in this whole album so far. So on to the last one, Leaving Song. Alright, here we go. Time for the final song. 7, Revelation. I really like this instrument, the melancholic piano. I think I said, back when we were listening to 11-3D in the first song, that I was a huge fan of like a melancholy style of music. So I'm a big fan of this instrumental so far. The mixing is like a touch too loud there, and that's the only place I've ever even had any problems with the mixing. But just like barely. It's nitpicking, honestly. I don't even know what effect that is. That's like a ripple, like kind of sound, like, but it's super bass, like super bassy. I I'm here for it. I like it. I vibe with it. All right, I really like that one. It was just an instrumental, so no vocals, obviously. But I enjoyed it. I thought the piano was really nice, and I thought I don't even know what to call it. That ripple effect kind of noise. I thought that was a nice touch. It kind of added to the depth of the song. Um, so really simple one, but it's a nice way to leave the album. Just kind of float. It feels like floating on the water. Just it's serene. It's peaceful. Um, so I really enjoyed that one. Last one in the album. That was a great way to leave it. All right, so that brings us to the final score, which I know it's completely arbitrary and stupid for me to give it a score, but I got to give it a 9 out of 10. I mean, I thought it was a fantastic album. Really, really did everything right to me. The only problem that I have with it was that one little lick in Leaving Song um, that had a little bit loud. That was a little bit loud in the mixing. That was the only problem that I had with it. So I think that it was really, really great, and it's a little nitpicky about the mixing, but it's just how I listen. Another thing, which isn't a problem, and it's not like taking anything away from like the score, but the the length. I typically like longer albums, um, so this one is a little bit short to me. So that's not taking anything away from it. I don't think that makes it any better or worse that it's a little shorter uh, than I like. I think that's just fine. It's just my personal preference. But things that I think he did really, really well. His vocals, so clean. The mixing on his vocals were fantastic, just phenomenal. Um, the instrumentals I thought were all really great, and the vocals and the melodies really went with the instrumentals really well. Like you could tell that there was time put into thinking through those melodies. It wasn't something that was just done boom, 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 and first thing that works is the one that you're putting on the album. So you could tell that there was a lot of like thought and effort put into it. So I really appreciated that. And then another thing, the lyrics I thought were great on everything. And I think he tackled a lot of mature and complex subject matter, especially in like Captain Harper and Best Man. I think were the most deep ones lyrically. Different Eyes also is kind of up there in the same vein. And another thing is that he didn't just have a blanket style for every song. There was a diversity in the album for the songs. Even in some of the songs, I can't remember. I think it might have been Lost. No, I think it was Captain Harper. It had a melancholy kind of tune, and then there was a spot where it broke into like a happier kind of melody. So even amongst like specific songs, he would have variation and he would have diversity in them. So I really liked that. I thought he changed up his style, changed up the sound a lot, and so I think that worked really, really well for him. And the final thing is just this is something that has replay value. You can listen to it and you can listen for different things. Because I just going through it the first time, I noticed that there were tiny little things that I wouldn't have heard if I wasn't like super hyper focused on it. If I was just listening in the car, I would not have heard them. So I think it's got a lot of replay value in that you're going to be able to hear things that you didn't hear before. You'll be able to hear verses or lines that you didn't hear before, like little effects that you didn't hear before. And so I think that that's worth doing, going through and just critically listening to it. I think all music is worth critically listening to. So again, huge fan of this body of work. House Party Sleepover, really, really well done. I enjoyed it a lot. So, Ezra Glenn, thank you for your contributions to music. I really enjoyed that. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are staying safe, staying inside, washing your hands. Everyone, take care. See you soon.